Thank you for joining us this afternoon in the Helpful Honda sound space at KROQ. Make some noise for All Time Low.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Check
Ryan.
this out.
Hello.
So I want to go through decades, and I want you to tell me what you think the most played KROQ song is during that decade or year.
I love this.
Let's start with the 2000s.
Of any band ever?
The most played song on KROQ
could not
in
have
the
been more
2000s.
clear.
Yeah, man.
The first 10 years of the century.
Lock in, bro.
Okay, first 10 years. Let's think
Yeah.
about this.
First 10 years?
2000 to 2009.
I'm going to guess Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Great guess.
It is a band we play sometimes.
I'm going to guess Red Hot Chili Peppers. Do I need to know the song?
It's a song game.
Okay.
He's like, who are these guys? But
It's a radio bit.
Californication?
I'm going to say Santeria by Sublime.
The answer of any song released in the 2000s during the 2000s is Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes.
dang.
Yep.
Also, I
Yep.
just realized that Sublime was out in like 96,
Yeah,
I
but
think.
it's still
It's
probably
in heavy
played a lot.
rotation, though, dude.
Yeah.
Another band we play a lot and played first.
All right, so now we do 2010
Let's
to...
do 2010s, yes.
Fall Out Boy. Sugar, we're going down? No,
I'm
that
gonna
feels,
go-
that's earlier.
Was American Idiot?
I'm bad at this.
Ooh, American Idiot is a good one.
I know.
Green Day?
I don't remember years or when things came
Yeah.
out. That's
Sublime Santeria.
It's made a comeback, baby.
Close. Lay Me Down by the Dirty Heads.
Oh.
Lay Me
I love
Down by
that
the
song.
Dirty Heads.
big tune.
I'm noticing it wasn't Dear Maria, by the way, or anything, so...
We screwed that one up. It should have been. It's up there, though. You know what? 2025. Full transparency, the weather hasn't quite been out long enough for this to be the #1 song just yet, but
That's
so
fair.
far in 2025.
I'm going to probably say it's 21 Pilots.
I mean, that Sublime song's been going. The new one.
Big
It's
Blink
#1
song?
right now, right?
It might eventually be, but right now it's Back to Friends by Somber.
Oh, big
#1
tune.
song.
Big tune.
I don't think I would have gotten that.
No.
This is actually turning into kind of a fun bit. Thank
All
you
right,
for
now,
like
I'm
coming
going to say
along.
it. We're bad at this.
I don't practice Santeria.
You don't have to sing them. You can.
The #1 song KROQ played of the 2020s so far.
Why do I feel like this is
Monsters?
Like, you set this up.
These guys, they
Monsters?
wrote it. It's Monsters.
Is it
by All Time Low. Come on.
Wow. There you go.
Take that, Sublime.
Damn right.
You hear that?
That's professional
You hear
right
that,
there.
Dad? Sorry.
So you have the White Stripes, 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Famers. Somber, arguably the biggest new artist of 2025. Quintessential KROQ sounds with Dirty Heads, and then All Time Low.
Wild.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
What does it say about All Time Low, your fans, your staying power, that your music is truly on that level when it comes to KROQ music?
I mean, it's wild. We're just so like humbled and thankful that many years into a career, we had a moment like that with a song like that. It was astonishing, and yeah, it blew our minds.
I just don't understand why it took so long. We're 18 years into our career. I'm like, where you guys been? Where you guys all been? I'm just kidding.
We had to work away at cracking the code for a while. Yeah.
All right, well, 18 years, right? Tell Me I'm Alive was the last record. You've been grinding and going pretty much nonstop since you started. Were there any, are we going to still be doing this kind of conversations that were had after the release of
For
that record?
sure. I mean, I think going into making this album, there was that conversation. I think this many years into a career and this many albums into a career, there's that moment that you confront yourself in the mirror and you kind of go, does the world need another all-time low record? Or have we told all the stories? Thank you. Or have we told all the stories that we need to tell? You know what I mean? And I think we face that every time we sit down to start a new creative process. But last year, we spent the year kind of doing these 20-year celebration shows, and that put us in this frame of mind that we were just so like appreciative and grateful for the fact that people were rallying around this band the way they were and celebrating all the eras and all the albums. And we were like, look, I think there's more in the tank. There's more to say.
We either write a record or do happy 17 years So Wrong It's Right or something.
It also
make up anniversaries.
It put us in a really good place to record and write this record because, we got to reimagine a lot of our older songs and what made those so special. Man, it's really hard for me to talk with this delay.
There's a delay. Fighting the delay.
I'm not drunk. I'm hearing this delay. But yeah, so like when we went in to write this record, we were reminded what was so special about that old songs. Set us up well.
Absolutely. So how did that perspective go into the new record, and what really inspired you, and what is the new record, about, if you had to define it?
I think it's about the trials and tribulations. Doing this for 20 years, and sometimes it can feel like a bit of a tumble dryer, and you come out and you're just like, whoa, what just happened?
I'm so damp.
So it's kind of us just getting our heads around all the time we've spent in this band, and I think what I love so much now is that we're in this really realized place of what All Time Low is in 2025. We're kind of very appreciative of what we're doing, and we know where we came from, and we know the sound that started our music and what people fell in love with, but we know creatively what we want to be doing now more than ever. And I think we've managed to kind of like merge those two worlds cohesively without it feeling like it's rubbing.
And the intro, the first song on the record, Cold Open, into the title track, really sort of, emphasizes what the theme and the overall mindset of the record is. So you open it beautifully. The Weather is the single that's on KROQ right now. It sounds fantastic.
Thanks.
It's gonna be a #1 record pretty soon.
The Weather!
Tell me about The Weather and what it's about, and what you want people to take from it after they hear it.
It's the reverse meet cute is what we started calling it, which is like when you're out and you run into an old flame and you make eye contact across the room and you suddenly, like, all the emotions come swelling back and you swore it was over, you swore you were done feeling any of those feelings, and then all you can muster is like, hi, good to see you, weather's crazy, and then you run away. And then you live with that feeling for a month. And it's and you deal with that, you sit in that, and it's like a little cloud following you around for a while.
I thought I was okay, man. I thought I was fine.
Yeah, I thought I was done with this, but turns out.
A lot of collaboration on this new record. JoJo, Rustin Kelly.
Shout out.
On the last record, Teddy Swims. Like a lot of collaborations as of late. How did those come together on the new album?
We're very fortunate to have some amazing friends that we've met over the years, and I think my favorite thing about the artists we do collaborate with is that they are all friends first. It's not kind of us fishing for engagement or like whose streams are gonna cross best. It's kind of like there's an opportunity here to do something unique and that I don't think people would expect from us, and that's what it was with JoJo, that's what it was with Rustin, and we've just been fortunate that they were down.
Yeah, JoJo we've known since, what was it, like 15 years ago?
Yeah, I want to say we met in like 2012.
We used to go to this like martini lounge here called Nick's Martini Lounge, and it was like a jazz bar. And one of the guys we wrote with on Dirty Work?
It was a
Dirty Work.
collaborator, like ran the jazz night and performed.
And JoJo did it one night, and we were like, we knew who she was, but she was so nice and so talented. And since then, I swear, Alex was like, one day we're gonna have a song and it's gonna make sense. And we're like, yeah, I'm sure she'd do it, man. But she's so talented, it was incredible. And then Rustin, we've known and been huge fans of for like 5 or 6 years now. And we got to know him over COVID. He's a Nashville guy, and I live there, and we do a lot of our work in Nashville. And he's a fan, we're a fan, and it just worked out.
He's also a fan of the genre, which helped. Like he puts out these dirt emo records where he does covers of like pop punk and emo songs in kind of his folk style, country style. And
hasn't done ours yet.
I was always giving him a little shit because he would never do Dear Maria, and I was like, bro, when are you gonna sing Dear Maria? And he's like, I just haven't got around to it yet. So I crashed a show in Nashville, and I was like, we showed up, and I was like, dude, we're doing it tonight. Like, does your band know it? And he was like, yeah, we'll figure it out. So we went on stage, did Dear Maria, and then from there, I was like, man, we have this song that I think you'd be great on, and he was down. Just all the stars aligned. It was perfect.
That's fantastic. And again, it's like it helps you guys simultaneously be who you are at your core, but to continue reinventing your sound on every record. The new one is your 10th album?
10, yeah.
Wild,
10
right?
albums. That's a lot. That's pretty impressive. And it's interesting too because there's so many bands from like the 2000s, pop punk Warped Tour era who have broken up, gotten back together, and they're having big moments. But you guys have kind of sustained throughout, right? You've always been here. So what's it like for you being a band who are kind of experiencing people, experience nostalgia while you've sort of been reinventing and been here the whole time?
Good question.
Yeah, I think we've been so fortunate because, you know, as you said at the beginning of this, with Monsters happening, it was right around the resurgence of this kind of like emo second wave.
Right.
And, you know, Dear Maria was doing its thing on TikTok. But we had this validation because during that, this song was written 10, 15 years ago. We also had the success of Monsters, and it just made us feel like, okay, people still care, and people are still supporting us, and it was amazing.
Yeah, the nostalgia wave's a tricky thing because it's like obviously we look back at all our music very fondly and how it connected with people, but I think we've always been a forward-looking band, and we've always thought about what the next record and the next goal is. So I think, you know, there's these moments where we got a little caught up going like, oh my God, are we just going to be known for Dear Maria? Is that going to be our career for the rest of our lives? Which would be fine in and of itself. But I'll
take it.
Yeah, of course. It's
a good song.
I think we were always sort of focused on how do we continue to reinvent what this band is and how people perceive this band and how do we grow it beyond where we came from. And when Monsters did what it did, it kind of validated all of that and went like, okay, we're moving in the right direction. This is exactly what we should be doing. And we just stayed that course.
Like a true career artist who has a body of work, and it's, you know, people aren't just coming to see you play one song. They want to see the whole set. Yeah.
And it's like I look at bands like, you know, the Foo Fighters and Jimmy Eat World and these bands that are career bands and have been doing it for as long as they have and continue to be kind of legacy staples in rock. And it's like that's always what we've talked about wanting to be and work towards being. So yeah, it was very validating when.
You were in Las Vegas over the weekend.
Sure were.
You have a song on the record that I think is about Las Vegas, which is probably my favorite song on the record.
Really?
I
That's
love
awesome.
that song.
Hell yeah.
It's
Well, you'll be
fantastic.
happy to know we're not playing it today.
Swap it out.
Let me cross off that next question. How was When We Were Young?
It was amazing. I mean, it's a great festival, and everybody's there for the same reason, and we loved it. We also we dropped our record on Friday, and we did this like free show on. Yeah, we did this free show on Fremont Street, and like we announced it the night before, and 20,000 people showed up. I guess we had no idea if anyone was going to come, but apparently that's how many people came.
People love free stuff in Vegas.
Yeah, so it was an amazing like way to drop an album and celebrate, and yeah, just be in that scene felt really good because it's you know, for us it's a reunion. Like everybody gets together in that festival. Every band there we've all crossed paths with over the years, so it's special.
It was a cool way to start the weekend too, though, because like When We're Young is awesome, but you can't see anyone's face. It's so cool to feel like, wow, this genre is so big right now, and it's such a scene and such a family, but you literally can't really connect super well, you know, at When We're Young in that way. And it was cool to do a Fremont because like I could see everyone. It was under the lights, like it was just a vibe, family
Special.
vibe.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, like 65,000 people a day?
Yes.
Yeah, it's big.
And
What do you think it is about that scene that you're talking about that connects with so many people, not only within the band community, but the
Yeah.
audience too?
I always looked at the genre and the world that we came up in as a place for people to belong who didn't necessarily feel like they had a place or fit somewhere. And so I think, you know, the Warped Tour and the bands and the scenes that kind of came up around that time, I think cultivated this movement of people that were searching for themselves and then found a place in this community. And I think all the years later now, people are feeling kind of nostalgic for that. And, you know, there's a lot going on in the world, and I think people are feeling lost again. And I just think it makes sense that the community has kind of like risen back up to kind of meet people in that space. And I think what's great is that there's also this new generation of people finding out about it and who are just kind of learning about themselves and discovering who they are, and also now being embraced by that
And like
culture.
people are bringing their kids, which I think
That's
is
what- yeah,
wild.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super cool.
It's funny, like, yeah, at our shows now is what I was going to say is like, you know, there have been people that have been coming for 15, 17 years, and now they're bringing their kids. And it's really cool to see that it's being passed down like that, whether it is literally kids or just, you know, younger generation of fans coming and checking out Blink, Panic, bands that we formed our band around. It's amazing to see.
As we record this, yes, When We Were Young happened over the weekend. You're going to be in San Jose tomorrow, a YouTube Theater in Inglewood on Tuesday. The tour just kicked off. You have the Paradox on the road with you right now, like one of the coolest up-and-coming bands at the moment. How did you discover them, and what are your thoughts on the Paradox so far, being on the road with them?
I mean, we discovered them the same way everybody else has, which is just that they're all over social media. You can't avoid it, and they're out there doing it. They remind me a lot of us when we were a young up and coming band.
I was going to ask about that.
They are grinding and they are doing everything in their power to push themselves forward and get themselves out there. And I think, we were kind of a DIY band coming up, and it was, different methods back then, but it's the same ethos of just working your ass off to cut through all the noise. And they're doing it. And we've been inspired by that. It's been really cool to see. And immediately we were like, we got to bring these guys out. And like, we're taking them to Europe. We're taking them to the UK for the first time. It's like, it's fun to show like a new band, the world in that way, because bands did that for us. Green Day, Blink, like plenty of bands kind of took us under their wing when we were just starting out, and it was
Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, it was extremely formative for us. So
When we first got the Paradox on the tour, I think they had 2 songs out, and I was like, do they have enough music to play a show?
They're also so like excited about everything.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I need to like get your energy back because the world has beaten me down a little bit, but you guys are just so stoked to be here. And
That's what
every
I was,
show,
yeah.
Makes you
They like
appreciate
they do us a favor by touring with us because they set up the crowd so well. They're so high energy. Like Zach said, they just have fun. It doesn't really matter if they're playing in front of 10 or 10,000. They just put on a great show.
it's what I loved about Blink when I first found Blink. Like, they have that same vibe.
Fun.
It's just, friends having fun on stage.
No, they're incredible. I mean, so infectious too, and just it's crazy. They've only been a band since like last July.
Last week.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's funny. Like they're learning how to tour on our tour. It's amazing to see because we were certainly learning how to tour on Fall Out Boy, like you said, and like making these small little mistakes that now we've been doing for 20 years. We're like, no, you don't just claim a dressing room by putting your dop kit in there and like that's yours. Like, but it's fun, man. It's fun to kind of guide the way for them a little bit.
Any other bands that are kind of on the come up right now that you guys are keeping an eye on? May go on the road with you down the line, collaborate with one day?
So many good bands. I got to shout out a band from Baltimore called Pink Shift.
Awesome.
They're doing it. It's awesome. I'm always very proud of like Baltimore bands coming up and breaking out. So it's cool to see them like kind of popping off. Very cool.
Our touring musician, singer, and the producer of this latest record, Dan Swank, works a lot with Taylor Acorn.
Love you, Dan.
Been a fan of Taylor for a really long time, as well as Arrows in Action, both really cool bands that, they're having a nice little moment right now.
You guys have been going like we've been talking about for like 2 decades now at this point, on the road, grinding 10 albums. How do you keep your mental health in check while, juggling all this?
I mean, I think it's really just, we've been doing it so long now, and I think all of those kinds of personal, I don't want to say struggles, but that personal growth that you need to go through, that's happened naturally, I think, for all of us at various times in our lives. And so I think for us, because we've been doing this since we were kids, and so I think all of that growth and maturity and, learning how to do this throughout the stages of our lives has sort of come in a natural progression of it just being so interlaced with who we are as people. We've never not been on tour, really.
We do family movie nights once a week.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
It's a big one, too. Yeah.
Trying to think of what family movie night would be.
Well, it's mostly
Like,
just
what-
Tim Robinson, but
Yeah, we also were very fortunate that we surround ourselves. Our touring crew is some of our best friends. A lot we consider family. And so when we go on tour, a lot of people, a lot of bands, it's like, okay, I know these guys, but who's our tour manager? Who's my drum tech? For us, it's our best friends, and that really helps us stay, like we're all in a family on a weird little circus.
Yeah, it can be very alienating for sure, but we've never really experienced that. We all kind of look out for each other and make sure everybody's good. So
and when they can't tour with us, we feel betrayed and hurt.
true. So know that, guys.
So
You're locked in.
Congrats on nearly 20 years and counting with
Thanks,
All Time
man.
Low.
Thank you, guys.
Your 10th album, Everyone's Talking, is fantastic. Just dropped on Friday as we record this.
Yeah.
It's available now. Check it out. They're going to take a couple minutes to regroup, and in a few minutes on stage performing songs All Time Low.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.